So when I was asked to do this power talk, I started thinking about it, and I've written 10 because I've gone to church here for 14 years, and I have had so many blessings, so it was hard to know, where do I focus? So I finally decided, okay, focus just in the last few years, Cindy. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about my business, and for many of you have heard me say my business is my spiritual practice. And so in 2009, we started to grow. It was very exciting. And by 2010, we had the best year we've ever had in business. We grew our revenue 40% from 2009 to 2010. It was an amazing year. So you can applaud that. So then I got to have 2011, and our revenue dropped 39%. And I had staffed up. In 2010, I had staffed up. We had taken on a lot more expenses. So in 2011, that was the worst thing I could ever have imagined for myself and my company. And I had to lay people off and cut expenses, tighten our belts. I cashed out my retirement savings to keep our company afloat. And please applaud for that. Because that was the best thing that ever happened to me. I didn't know it at the moment, but in that same year, Reverend Dr. Kathy Hearn came and led a leadership retreat, and she led us through a Fear to Faith worksheet. Have you ever done one of those? Oh my gosh, do one. And I came out of that with a posture prayer, and my posture prayer was, I release my belief in separation. I release my need to control. I am grateful. Both. God is the freedom I am. And I was very disappointed in this posture prayer because I really didn't understand it at all. In fact, I thought, this is like the most boring posture prayer ever. And so Kathy Ann said, go home and pray that 70 times. And I went home and I prayed that 70 times. And when I got to the end of it, I went, I really don't understand that. Do I have a belief in separation? And I said, so I invited God in. I said, God, teach me about this. It's, from the outside looking in, my business is falling apart. It's like obvious what a belief in separation is about. But for me, I needed to learn that. So all my teachers started showing up. And the first one that showed up was Joel Goldsmith. And somebody introduced me to his writings, and I began to read and meditate. And he's all about discovering your unity with your divine source. And when I was ready, Eckhart Tolle showed up with The Power of Now, and I really learned that I had never really experienced what it meant to be fully present in this moment, in this magical moment, letting go of the past, getting out of my head and not thinking about the future and planning it and agonizing over it and trying to have contingency plans so I was ready for anything, and I was really good at that. And so I discovered with Eckhart Tolle that now is an amazing moment, and living from that place is an incredible experience. And I was so happy. I told Kathy Ann, I've never been happier. I'm so content. I'm so peaceful. How the heck do you create anything from this state, And Kathy Ann said, well, you're ready for Neville, who's Neville Goddard, and he writes under the name Neville, and there's books in the bookstore for him too. And so I bought his book, and he's all about the I am. The I am is where your place of power is. That's the place where you manifest from, is when you're in that place and you speak your word and claim it, and it comes. So I studied Neville, and now I'm taking Mae McCarthy's class. Is anybody else taking that? Oh my God, with God as your CSO, your Chief Spiritual Officer, and writing this practice of writing a letter every day in gratitude to God, in gratitude for what I am receiving. And it's been life-transforming. So what I know, so I want to tell you a few demonstrations that have come in the past 2 years. My books were published by a major publisher. I have 2 books. And, this is all happening while my company is collapsing, right? So my books are being published by a major publisher. And in that same year, we signed, as I look back, we signed 10 new Fortune 1000 clients. They're amazing clients that we're going to be with for 3 to 5 years at least, very solid clients. And I've had more speaking opportunities than ever. They've just shown up as, they've multiplied like amazing. And I would say one of the last things, in many ways, what I learned to do was receive in this. I was always just a champion manifester and kind of a rugged individualist, like Kathy Ann says, I can do anything. And just an example of that, in 2011, when we were having difficulty paying the bills, I called the payroll company one payroll period and said, I can't make payroll, and we're just going to have to not pay people. And he said, don't do that. I'll cover it for you. And this was, until this time, this man was not my friend. He is my friend now. But he did that 5 times in 2011. And I paid him back, of course. But I asked him at one point, why are you doing this? And he said, I have no idea. I just know it's the right thing to do. And so the receiving end of this, I think, has so touched me. So my final thoughts here. One is, there is one scorecard, which is the external scorecard, right? What it looks like on the outside and all the things that you build. But there's the internal scorecard, which is that sense of peace, that sense of joy, that sense of gratitude, and living from that place. And what I really have learned is that both of those are the complete demonstration of Spirit working in my life. So when I say my posture prayer now, I understand it. I understand it. I release my belief in separation. I release my need to control. I am grateful. God is the freedom I am.